Anyway, I had to go to county lockup 30 days, and I got out, and my friends, like any good military friend should do, said, "You want to like pay rent or get food? No, let's throw a party and invite whores and have a gangbang." Anyway, I had to go to county lockup 30 days, and I got out, and my friends, like any good military friend should do, said, "You want to like pay rent or get food? No, let's throw a party and invite whores and have a gangbang."
And
I think our endings are always better than our beginnings.
And we will get.
I feel bad for the people that drop off early on. Those people that listen to like 20 minutes and then don't listen to the rest of it.
Yeah, dude, let us hit our stride. Skip the first 20 and then come for the last.
You know what we should do? Let's take the first 30 minutes of this episode, put it in the front, and then put the
Drew on them. I like it.
Yeah, let's just swap it.
But like drop in like midway through conversation, so there's zero context.
How many people do you think would like be trying to restart the episode if all they heard was Ken's outro at the beginning?
Like looking at it and be like, dude, it says it's an hour and 12 minutes long. What the fuck? Like,
This is the perfect one to do it with, though, because we're talking about doing it. So right when he does the outro, they're going to be like, okay, but then there's more. But then since we're not going to do it because we're too lazy, they're just going to be listening to silence. So make sure there's 20 minutes of silence at the end of this episode. And they'll be like, wait for it, it's coming. It's coming.
Hey, welcome back to Four for the Road, everybody. I'm your host, Punk Rock. We got, I just saw his name.
You gotta call me Dave. You can't say it. It's for in-house only. You gotta call me Dave.
we got Dave with us right now. NoShame's gonna be joining us here in a bit.
We're just here to fluff your dicks until NoShame gets here.
Oh, that is fucking dirty boy. What the fuck, Dave?
All right, so I mean, the elephant in the room is that we lost a bunch of episodes. We're what are we gonna do? We're gonna not talk about it and just keep blowing it off. It sucks. We are devastated that we lost those episodes. Unfortunately, getting zucked or whatever happened, algorithms are zucked or people reporting the episodes, or I don't know what happened. We're not technological geniuses, but we lost the episodes and it sucks, and we're going to rebuild. But I feel like, we're trying to come up with like a good way to talk about it, and there isn't. It just sucks, and we're all very upset about it, and we'll try to rebuild our episodes as best as we can. I think we have some good stuff coming up. So maybe people will get excited about listening to the podcast again, because I feel like we have a couple of cool guests coming up, hopefully. I know you guys yesterday did a really great topic, and it sounds like the show turned out well. Today we're going to record with NoShame, and he makes everything better. So we got that going for us.
Dude, literally have never had an interaction with him, even about serious stuff. Have never had an interaction with him that didn't just split my sides. Like, the dude is absolutely a comical genius. If he wanted to make a living in the stand-up arena, I think he would be very, very successful.
I think it's funny too. Like, I wonder, because some of the stuff, like, if you are, and I know sometimes people say, your content in the show is good enough without you trashing people or whatever. But sometimes I think people attack you, and you just, for an example, just to make this make sense, somebody trying to say that something you put out was wrong, and specifically about this San Francisco Chronicle article.
Mm-hmm.
And I took offense to that. I was like, look, if anybody's gonna call Ken wrong, it's gonna be me. Yeah. And so I like, look, this is why he's not wrong, and here are the links. And that was kind of that's always what I want to do. I will argue with anybody, and it's not like it matters, right? Because you're like, oh, it's the internet and shit like that, and I get that. But if I have the links to show you, you can either been like, oh, dude, that's really cool, and glad I learned something, or you can double down. And that dude usually chooses, that other dude that said you were wrong usually chooses to double down. But we had the links and whatever else, and I felt like he tried to, the person that said you were wrong, I felt like he tried to disrespect you, and I feel like NoShame, he takes it to the other side where he's funny about it, and I'm like, no, here's the link, and if you don't like this link and you don't like all these newspaper articles that I just cited, you can show up at my house and we can we can fight. Like that's where I want to go with it. No shame, just gonna make fun of you, and I feel like he's so good at it. Like, do you see a video that like if you're that person and you get made fun of by No Shame, are you just like, fuck, that's really good, dude?
Right. No, I think the recipients of him of his content are devastated. To be honest, there's a couple times where, like, as jokes, like he has crafted a TikTok but didn't post it about me, and then sent it to me, and it's just like, okay, I'm looking at this from Ken's perspective. You know, this is a friend of mine. We've had some, you know, we know a lot of personal details about each other. You know, we're pretty close. That fucking hurts, but is also hilarious. So I'm going to choose to laugh at this to your face, and I'm going to go cry myself to sleep later. So I'm team devastation is what happens with the rest.
You know what makes me upset is that I sent him a thing. I was like, hey man, can you do this little Photoshop thing for me on this thing? You're really good at it. And I haven't gotten anything back. Yet you and him are over here on, I don't know, some kind of secret side chat, hitting each other up with these TikToks and shit. And I sit waiting for my funny meme. But that's all right. That's, you know, well, that's
if
whatever.
It makes it any better, I haven't received a special talk in a while. So
hey, that episode that we did we lose the episode where he makes you think that his dad is dead, but he's really just telling you that story from Sons of Anarchy?
I don't think so. I think
good.
we were able to keep that. That was good. I think it was Sons of Anarchy when I left, and then when I came back, and I was just like, yes, I want to hear the story about your, you know, this super depressing story. He was he was John Connor from the Terminator. I think that's where he was.
I don't remember how that all turned out, but just the fact that he got you on the Sons of Anarchy thing,
dude, I felt bad for days afterwards. Like, even knowing, I was just like, God damn, bro.
And I know we lost a good chunk of our catalog, but maybe when people are like, what's Four for the Road about? I hope they tune into that episode. And like, oh, okay, so these dudes are retarded. Yeah,
pretty much. You know, there was, you know, and that's something. So, you know, like you brought up, like, do you say something back? You know, and I know, like, for me personally, I support whatever anybody wants to do on the staff. But like for me personally, I'm gonna stop taking shots at people. You know, Dirty from the Bikers Lifestyle podcast, he put out a good video, and it kind of resonated. It didn't kind of resonate. It resonated with me.
No, I know what you're saying. Like, yeah, and for those,
there's plenty of internet for everybody. You know, if you want to be wrong. That's fine. Like, that's one of the things that we pride ourselves on as, like, the historians in Four for the Road.
Oh, it makes me cringe when you say that. Like, say history nerds, history buffs. You say historians, that makes it sound like we're way better than we are.
You and Drifter are recognized historical experts.
Anyway, go back to Dirty. More about Dirty.
You know, we try to, you know, provide the evidence that we discovered, or we read, however you want to say it, right? Because we didn't, like, discover it, but whatever. And saying, hey, look, like, this is where I started. This is where the journey took me, and this is what I got from all of this information. Now, you go research it, just like you're doing with me. Now you go research it. You find what you find, and then tell me if you reach the same conclusion. If not,
so I think
we'll have a conversation about it.
So I think you did an amazing job just now in segueing into what I thought this podcast should be titled, which we talked about was Club Business, and that's all I wanted it to be titled. That was Club Business, because I feel like that'll just drive people insane, and they'll, like, have to come and click on the link and check it out. But really, I think you did a great thing, like, making it all come together, because you're 100% right. Like, if you want to say something, instead of making a video sitting against a brick wall claiming whatever, fine, make that video, but then post the links. That's all I did, was like, this dude is like, Ken's wrong, and this article definitely came out in Hollister, and I'm like, no, it didn't. Boom, here. And you know, people are like, oh, those pictures were fuzzy because you took them off of a. Okay, first of all, I'm not paying for you to get the good shit, and second of all, you can still make it out. Like, you did have to stare at it, but if you want to say Dave's wrong, you could easily read that and see that I'm not. And so that's what, like, if you want to make a claim, if you want to argue, then give me something. Don't say, oh, well, this is wrong. And then like just all it is you talking and not backing it up with anything. Like, I don't even care if you don't post the links in your videos, fine. But then say, hey, go check out so-and-so or whatever.
Yeah. Or, there's a couple of, guys on social media that I follow that, one video that they put out, because you're kind of limited on time, right? So one video they put out is, hey, this is my theory, or this is my, insert, whatever you want to call it, a hypothesis, a conspiracy theory, whatever. This is what I think. And then in the next video, they cite all the references. Be like, hey, look, when I said this, I found it here. When I said this, I found it here. No. Or look up this event and then read about it, and then maybe you'll come to the same conclusion. But like, that's what pisses me off is like, we don't start shit. Like for the road, we don't go after people first.
And it's not even so much. It's not even so much that I don't feel like it's a who's going after who. Like who, like Dirty said, there's enough internet for everybody. And at the end of the day, it's social media, right? Like who really gives a fuck? Like my club activities aren't impacted because somebody made a shitty TikTok video. My club activities aren't impacted because somebody called Ken wrong. But at the end of the day, if you want to call my boy wrong, state why he's wrong. Give me facts and why he's wrong, or let's have a conversation about it. Like, how many times have we offered to I'm sorry, that's the word, like we're offered to have other folks come on and debate us or talk about it or whatever. Like, there is enough room on the internet for everybody, and I agree with you. I'm 100%. I think that I feel like people are going to take this the wrong way, but like there's not internet beef. That's fucking cheesy. But I'm also over just like the petty animosity of it too. Like, and I know that I'm guilty of it, and sometimes we're guilty of it. But like, it's just, if you want to, other than that, if you want to call us wrong, fine, but just say why we're wrong. And I think sometimes that's why folks are turned off by us. Like that one dude, no disrespect to him at all, but on that video that Dirty made, he's like, he said Dirty seems more genuine than the for the road guys. And I think we're not everybody's cup of tea, because sometimes we are sarcastic. Sometimes we're a little bit in your face. Sometimes we're like, we make jokes that maybe not everybody's going to get, or, we're a little bit more, I think we're a little bit, we're, I don't know what the right words I'm looking for. I'll like shelve it and come back to it. But I think, we're a little bit more open to where, we're fine with, we're the tennis shoes and Dickies crowd, or whatever you want to say. And I don't know that it's everybody's cup of tea, or, we don't, does that make sense? I feel like I'm not saying it right, but I understand where that guy was coming from and why we might not always be everybody's cup of tea.
Yeah, I think we appeal more to the younger crowd. And then we get some older dudes that either get what we're trying to say, or they never really agreed with the older crowd either. Because there is a difference. And I think, we're going to get into that in a couple of minutes once NoShame hops on. Is that, yeah, there is a big difference between the older generation of biker and the younger generation of biker, and I say younger, like 35 and under.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I'm 36, and I mean, I'm considered young when it comes to club stuff. I know there's a lot of young club dudes, but I mean, I'm still probably in that younger, like you said, probably that 35. Maybe I'm now starting to tick up, but, we're still considered younger when you're in your 30s compared to some of these other people that have been doing clubs for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting yelled at, by Dave Mann for wearing Chucks on my Road Glide, and
he's dead, so he's not doing, no disrespect, but he's dead. He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give a shit what you're wearing.
He does. To stop every day. But no, man, kind of like moving forward, I'm just kind of done with the bullshit, man. Like I don't want to. Like, I'm going to kind of take Dirty's advice, I'm just going to be like, all right, cool, dude. Like, you want to be a fucking douchebag over there? Be a fucking douchebag. I'm going to keep it to mine. I'm going to keep doing my shit. Like, oh, you want to fucking run my name in your mouth all the fucking time? Fucking cool, bro. Like, or you want to take these calculated shots to where when I fire back, you can say, oh, I wasn't talking to you, but if the shoe fit, fine. Fuck it, man. Do your thing. I'm done. Like, I am going to focus on doing his historical pieces. I'm going to focus on, like personal growth pieces and dedicating yourself to something bigger than you.
I think
that's
part of the reason why some of the other crowd or whatever doesn't like everything that we put out, I think is sometimes because, we have guys that, the younger guys, we have guys that are, stepping up in the club world. We have guys that are in the club world. We have guys that are outlaw clubs, diamond clubs, national officers, and all this stuff. And I think for a lot of what we have here as far as opinion based stuff, a lot of them are, I don't, fuck, what's the term? A lot, Silence example on the podcast that he was on not too long ago about, the shitter's full, the house is full. Would you let another man just walk into your house? That kind of thing. I think a lot of us, subscribe to that and believe kind of in that theory, or at least it resonates, or we understand it. And I think some of the folks that maybe don't like our message or whatever think that, that we're advocating for beefs or violence or whatever. And that's not the case at all. Like, I just understand why maybe somebody is territorial. Like, I get that, or why, clubs sometimes butt heads. Like, I get that and I understand it. And I think sometimes people want podcasts or whatever to talk about kumbaya and peace and roses and all that. And that's there's a component and a need for that as well. But I think sometimes people are mad at us, or don't like our show because we're like, yeah, dude, you did something stupid in somebody's house and you got punched in the mouth. You fucking deserved it. And so I think maybe that sometimes alienates some of that other crowd. From what I see, like I'll go and I'll troll the comment sections to see, what other people are saying about other sites, and if we might get good topics or people to bring on. But I think that's a large part of what I see is I think guys are looking for that inclusivity, and maybe sometimes we're like, nah, not everybody needs a plate at the table.
Yeah, 100%, man. And I do appreciate Silent for taking some time later, because like after that episode we spoke for a little bit. And
you took that shit so personal.
Dude, I did, man. Like,
it wasn't personal.
It wasn't, and he wasn't trying to be a dick or anything like that. I was just being a bitch. Like, that's what it is.
I will say that without a doubt, Ken is our most beatnik, peace-loving dude on here. NoShame's not. NoShame will chase you down in sandals. Don't let that fucking baby face fool you. That motherfucker will scrap, dude. Ken's 100%. Over there like, Ken wants to hit the peace pipe. NoShame is like, I'll hit you with the peace pipe.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, and that's just the dream I have, but at the end of the day, reality is what it is. But like I said, man, like Silent took some oh my fucking God. So NoShame's on.
Well, hang on. Before you go into what NoShame's doing, I just wanted to, that's why I think sometimes people don't like what we put out, is because we don't have the entire kumbaya vibe all the time. We're not advocating for violence. We're not putting out club business, but we certainly understand that sometimes, shit happens or needs to happen, or whatever you want, whatever fucking euphemism you want to put in there, rather than everybody holding hands. So I think that alienates some people. But anyway, we were just talking about not taking shots at people, and then here's NoShame.
Yeah.
So I've not taken any shots.
Well, hey, we're right about an hour, people. So we're gonna go ahead. So yeah. I'm not gonna bring it up, but if you want to know what's happening, just go troll the TikTok. You'll see you'll piece together.
Dude, I laughed my ass off on that video he made where he's like, "Oh shit, my doggy fell off."
Oh shit, my doggy fell.
Oh man. So yeah, NoShame is just jumping on, and we're gonna call this episode Club Business, because that's all we like to do is put out club business.
Oh yeah, we do so much of that.
Have we ever actually, like, I was thinking about that because I saw this site named Nameless because Ken's turning over a new leaf, I guess. But they said, like, it was like a truck video. I don't know, maybe it was a veteran in a truck or some shit like that. And he was like talking about social media putting out club business. And I was like, wait a minute, this fucking guy just posted a video of a club in a street fight like 6 posts ago. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, get out of here.
And that's the crazy part about it, is like, if we've put out any club business at all, it has been in like a positive aspect. I think to my knowledge, I can only think of one time where we've talked about like a negative club thing, and we did our utmost not to bring up club names. We just used it as an example of like, as a starting point for a conversation and into another topic. Anytime we've ever mentioned a club specifically, it's always been about a historical reference, or it's like a club that sends us like a newspaper clipping of them doing something charitable in the community. It's not this
Yeah.
fucking hack job shit where you're finding like the most sensational piece of media you can find on a club and using that to generate clicks. Like, I think anytime we've done any kind of club anything, it's always been with righteous intent.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's just sometimes it's aggravating, and you want to, like, every time it happens point it out, but then you're like, why am I going to let somebody live in my head rent free like that? But I think it's important too to, like understand that there's a difference. Like the culture, I don't sound like a boomer here, but like the culture, or I guess not an anti-boomer, whatever the fuck, but like the culture's evolved, and one of the complaints is like, old timers would have never been on social media. Yes, they would have. And there was no social media, and it's like, oh, you never saw colors, and you never showed your club colors and stuff like this. And I'm like, what are you talking about? There was literally a magazine called Colors, and like it was dedicated to motorcycle clubs and runs and parties and all this shit. And there's been so many books from the 60s and the 50s and movies that presented actual club colors, fucking movies. And this guy's making a fucking truck video or whatever, a TikTok about how back in his day, or old school bikers or whatever never would have shown their club colors on the internet or put out club business. Like, shut up.
Dude, I forget what club it is, and it could have been multiple clubs, but there were clubs that literally had baseball trading cards of themselves that you could buy in a magazine.
Which are some of the most iconic stuff. Like, I would love to get my hands on some of those, and like the old Ed Roth stuff in the back of his magazines would have presidents of large clubs on these amazing bikes, and you could buy them for like $5. Like, so don't tell me that clubs wouldn't have been on social media. Like, yes, they would have. Like, unless you're going back to the days of smoke signals, there's always been some sort of presence.
Yeah,
Dude,
look at
there was motorcycle club in La Bamba. Like, it's not even just like motorcycle related movies. I mean, it's part of like the culture of America, and in that story, it just so happened to be a historical reference. Fucking Richie Valens or whatever, his brother happened to be in that motorcycle club, and they portrayed it. And when did that movie come out? Like 80s, 90s?
I think the 80s. I don't know exactly, but I think.
And then you got a club, a well-respected historical club, allowing their colors to be shown in that movie. So to say like they wouldn't be on social media, I mean, yeah, you guys bring up a great point. It's an asinine statement.
Also, for those that don't know what that means, it's because social media wasn't around and the internet wasn't around. Thank you.
Yeah, it's easy to say, oh, well, you didn't see this in the 70s when the capability didn't exist. Like, no shit.
Yeah. And I know, like, I'm stereotyping, so like, am I any better? But I feel like a lot of times those types of folks that have that complaint or haven't been able to evolve and progress from the 70s or the 80s are either they're not in the life anymore, or they're not attending relevant events or anything like that, or they just have this, I don't know, I call it like, they have this gangster rhythms or whatever the fuck. Like, they think that's the only aspect of the life. Like, we all know that there's things that happen, but that's the part that they focused on the most, and that's how they feel that all motorcycle culture should be. And back in my day, it was rough and tough and this and that, and like no, people, yeah, okay, that was part of it, but that was such a small part of it. Like, there was also this entire other thing going on, and you choose to ignore and act like it didn't happen.
Yeah, and then I mean, part of that, I think, too, trying to be objective here, is look at his age. Like the age of the guys that are saying that kind of stuff. They can't do that hood rat shit anymore, and they feel like maybe fear equals respect, and that's not the case at all. So they fantasize or romanticize the violence that did happen. And much like the media, they blow it all out of proportion. And, oh, this was a fucking Monday to Sunday fucking thing. You couldn't go down the street without getting shot at. And it's just like, well, I mean, my dad was there and he never fucking said anything like that, but.
Yeah, and it's not a what is the word, condemnation or whatever of old folks or old bikers. Like there's definitely some rad ass dudes out there, and some clubs are built on just these amazing pillars of these graybeards that have amazing stories. But those leaders and those mentors and those dudes that you learn from are the ones that, because especially the motorcycle club world, I feel like it's a very delicate thing to have nostalgia and respect for the history and where you come from, and bring that with you as you progress. Like I don't know if there's another thing out there outside of maybe like military type stuff, military service, whatever things related to that, where we care as much about the past and the history and the protocols and all that, and also try to evolve. And I think it's a hard thing to do. But motorcycle clubs, I think for the most part, the successful ones, they do it well. And of course, there's always just those dudes that they just can't stop, missing the old ways. But I think the successful ones and the best leaders and the best old beards to hear, old gray beards to hear stories from, are the ones that love the time that they had in the past and are excited about the future of the club.
I just found on eBay a Sonny Barger poster from a magazine in 1960 that's selling for $1,500.
Oh my god, dude!
Is it signed at least?
No, it's not even restored. It would cost $500 just to get it back up to its original condition.
Damn. But see, and that's the thing, is that a lot of our community is made up of veterans, and even veterans know if you don't adapt, you die. I know, right? No, me of all people, talk about veterans in a positive way. But yeah, if you don't adapt, you die.
Yeah.
Right. There's going to be new shit that comes out. There's going to be new ways to do the old shit that work better, and you adapt and you overcome. Right. I again feel the collective military eye twitch.
No, but you're 100% right. And you said what I was trying to say is that, the motorcycle club world, whether you're getting into it, hanging around it, or you're in a club, we really try to bring the past with us and represent it appropriately and properly and respect it. And we also try to evolve and stay current. And it's it's a very hard thing to do. And if you're in a leadership position in your club, I don't envy you, because it is a stressful thing and a hard thing to do. But then you have guys that get a social media platform who absolutely suck dick at fucking doing it. But some people listen to them.
So, and this is an example that I would use when describing to somebody, well, why are the new ways better than the old ways? Well, first off, it's going to maintain your club's relevance and membership, to help carry on the legacy that you have worked to build and maintain.
Well, hang on. I don't think you mean why are the new ways better than the old ways. I think
No,
I think you mean why is it important to blend it?
Yeah. Thank you. But if you're saying like, no, the new ways are just fucking awful and we're never going to fucking do it. Well, that's like saying, okay, cool. Well, we had kickstarts first. So you can't have an electric start bike in my club. Okay, cool. Well, now they only make electric start bikes. So what are we going to fucking do here? Are you just going to let your club die? Or are you going to adapt to new things? Right? Outrageous example, I know. But at the end of the day, you have to adapt or die. And there's plenty of fucking old ways that are fucking great, right? That are still practiced today. But then we've found some stuff that maybe didn't work in today's environment. So we changed it.
Can you imagine, like, I know some dudes do it, but it's not as prevalent or whatever. But can you imagine like national cross country runs on a hardtail?
No. No, I do not. No, my dad and I built a 59 panhead together, and this is after I had my dyno for a while, and he finally let me take it. even though I invested money into that motherfucker too, he finally let me take it. He says, "I'll tell you what, boy, if you can start it, you can fucking take it out for a ride." I was like, "All right, cool." So I never worked a Kickstart before. Whatever, fucking, we got 20 good minutes of just him just heckling me and having a good time watching me fail. But I finally got the bike to start, and I made it probably 3 miles before I was like, "Man, I should have turned back about a half mile ago because this is fucking horrible." It was fun. It was great. Like, I know it looked cool and all that, but it was fucking miserable.
Something that you mentioned just a little bit ago too is your dad, having a long time club experience. Does he think you're a fucking pussy for giving away club secrets on the internet?
Yes. No. No, he liked it.
He's disappointed in me for other ways.
Yeah, I definitely disappointed him in other ways, like just my existence really, but
At least you didn't try to import a Canadian motorcycle club to the States.
Who would do that?
Probably just fucking lame. But
Did you guys already hit? I don't know if you guys touched on this before I got onto the podcast, but did you already hit on the differences between showing your colors on the internet versus what's actually club business?
No, you were kind of here for the brief touch on that, as far as talking about historically, there's always been some sort of thing to represent your club publicly.
But I mean, that's not necessarily what I'm getting at. It's there's a difference between me showing a video of me and my brothers on a run, or even us sitting around bullshitting or whatever, and just having a good time and giving glimpses into the life versus and this is all hypothetical. If I was my club Dingle Dangles really is in a rough way with Ken's club Booberhead 94s, and now we're gonna meet at the playground at noon to duke it out under the flagpole. Those are two different situations. Yeah. I would venture to say most people that are putting out content, whether it be in podcast form, on TikTok, on Instagram, whatever it is, regardless of whether it's good or not, or whether you enjoy their content, I don't think most of those guys are putting out club business, and I haven't seen somebody that just so blatantly puts out the details of somebody's club life, or things that are discussed in church. Most of it's just general knowledge, people discussing protocol, tradition, history, versus what you would actually call club business.
But I think there's some, and maybe it's difficult for us too, because we don't have an agenda. We don't really, Ken will run a report for us or whatever and maybe show us where we are in the rankings podcast wise. And usually we're out in front, other than Fast Life. Fast Life always kicks our butt, but usually we're out in front. But other than that metric, how many countries are listening to us or whatever, nothing we do is for profit. We don't care about views. We don't care about anything else as far as making money off of it. We have jobs. We have full-time jobs. This is a hobby. This is a passion. This is our lifestyle. This is what we really care about and love. There's a few other sites, I think, that what they're doing is they're trying to promote traffic for monetary gain. And to do that, you need to have a video that says club business is being put out on the internet, or you need to take, you need to take JPEG images of club colors and put them as kind of the video screen for your upcoming video or podcast. Or
yeah, that's pretty whack, isn't it?
Because you want to monetize it, and that's why you're doing it. And to me, that always seemed like what's the double speak, right? You're saying one thing, but I can clearly see that you're doing another.
Well, yeah, and there's those few individuals out there that are doing that, but like I was saying, I think a majority of the people and that was the crazy thing about us getting onto the TikTok space, and I would venture to say that I'm probably the only one that is logged in to the TikTok account, even though I put the password and username out there and everything. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that's ever logged into there. But even just since I started putting content on there, I think everybody else. It was funny watching Blade and Silent start getting onto TikTok, and like acting all boomer on it and shit. Like, well, really, all these dancing girls and shit. Oh, this is fucking crazy. But once they figured it out, man, there's like a whole another like plethora of people that are putting out like really great stuff. And like I was telling you guys earlier, I was having a conversation with one of those guys, and I was telling him like, I respect the content that he's putting out, and I know there's an association that he has with somebody else that's in the same sphere that we don't really see on a high level, but that's it's a way to break into like different areas. It's that collaborative thing to where like, okay, I can expand my market if I like do these things with this person or whatever. But
I mean, how do you feel about those in that market space though that are trying to monetize? Should this be? Is there a need? I think before you came out, we're talking. There's internet for everybody, but is it appropriate? Is there a need for motorcycle club culture to be monetized? And you say, well, there's books, there's videos, so what's the difference on somebody else doing that? I think it's okay. I don't want to do it. I want no part of it. But I can see where maybe somebody would want to monetize it, but I think it's a very delicate thing.
Well, I think one of the big things that especially you have always been protective of was our credibility, and how do we maintain that credibility in the best possible way while still allowing creative freedom. And I think one of the things that does very much lend to our credibility is the fact that we aren't trying to make a profit on this. We aren't trying to gain sponsorships, even though a sponsorship was brought to us, and we took it and gave them a very steep discount because all we wanted out of that thing was, a little bit better recording equipment to give a slightly better product, and we were very upfront about that. But there's like some other people out there that are chasing profits, and, I don't necessarily see the bad in it, as long as they continue to put out the righteous shit. I think for us, we can kind of like, maybe it gives us a little bit of a safety net to where we can kind of put stuff out that somebody might be like, oh, what's the motive? Well, you can cross money off the list because none of us are getting paid for it. And I think all of us have probably put money into this project and, with no expectation of a return.
And I think to look at I feel like some of the better ones that are out there are ones that have club dudes involved in it. And I feel like some of the worst ones are the ones that have just hanger-ons, not even hang-arounds, just hanger-ons, and they're trying to monetize it. I mean, I'm not going to hit all of the good ones or all of the bad ones, and I won't even mention the bad ones, but I mean, you look at some of the good ones, and I have a personal relationship with them, so maybe that helps, but I like what Dirty does at Biker's Lifestyle. It's a little bit different, I think, than some of all the stuff we do, but I think he's got some really great points, and as an individual and as a show, I dig it. Here, we'll cover this one. Shaggy. We can we're kind of harsh to him in an episode about
respectful.
About a Nat Geo episode and his response to it and stuff like that. However, I think he puts out some good stuff, and for those that aren't following, aren't aware, or don't care, we've had conversations with him and kind of, I don't know, figured it out or seen great stuff with him and offered advice back from other people have. I tried to I gave him some historical stuff and got some feedback from him. It's kind of turned into a better relationship just from an understanding standpoint than when we kind of lit into him for some stuff that we thought was out of context for the biker community. So I think, he's another one. He's a club guy and has some decent information. There's some Facebook pages that are run by some club dudes that I think have good content. But it's kind of limited in the podcast, YouTube sphere or whatever. I think there's not as many club guys like what we have here doing it.
Yeah, I definitely think that our cast is unique in the fact that, one, we have so many, and then from such a wide range of clubs and experiences. And I again, that's why I think we're unique. And, not saying that other sites or anything like that aren't an asset to the community, which they absolutely are. But I mean, there's just some out there that, they live to make money off of tragic events connected to the motorcycle community. They enjoy highlighting the negativity, but then they're the first ones to write in and say, no, I defend the motorcycle club community. I stand up for the motorcycle club community. And it's just, well, what you're selling doesn't match what you're saying,
And I think, something, I guess this is kind of a rambling.
Right. Like I'm not saying and everybody else sucks. I'm not saying that.
No, not at all. I don't think it came across that way. But I think this is kind of a hard episode because it kind of rambles, and we're trying, before NoShame got on, we were trying to politely address why, some of our episodes are gone because it's obviously an elephant in the room, and it was kind of out of our control, technical wise. But just trying to, I think, talk about that and then talk about the difference between club business and actual club business, like NoShame pointed out. So it's kind of a rambling episode, but I hope people understand that at the end of the day, Four for the Road's vision, or my vision, our vision, is a place for everybody. As long as you are cool, I don't know. It really is a place for everybody. Now, if you come in here talking about the motorcycle club scene is dead and Sons of Anarchy ruined it, and you can't wear Vans, or posting a picture of club colors is posting club business. If you come in with some ridiculous shit like that, no, Four for the Road is not for you, and you're gonna have a bad attitude about it, and that's fine. Fuck off.
It might be for you, but expect that we're gonna make fun of you.
Yeah.
Like we dogged on one of our viewers for posting something, and he like turned right around. He's like, you know what, my bad, that wasn't what I was saying. And it was, it was all good and great and whatever. But don't expect that we're just gonna like kumbaya you. Even Ken, with his love for avoiding conflict, and he's so good at it, he'll even dog you in the comments too.
Ken. That's sarcasm, Ken. But no, I really
avoid conflict at every opportunity.
I really think this is a page
for me to turn the other cheek.
I want you, whether you are thinking about a club, in a club, been in a club, left a club and are angry about a club, like whatever, like I want you to come here and have a discussion about it on the comments. Write us and send us stuff into post. Hell, if you have a good idea and you're interesting, come on the podcast. It really is a place for everybody, unless you're an asshole. And I think that sometimes people get that confused. And I'm not saying that the people that don't like us are assholes. Some of them definitely are. But I think we sometimes come off,
I'll say it, the people that don't like us are assholes.
Maybe we come off elitist sometimes, and we shouldn't. Like, we're not better than anybody else. But maybe that's what somebody, like, what's his name? Billy Joe Bob? What was that?
Oh, yeah.
The guy that commented on Dirty's video. And I'm not trying to disrespect him at all. He did have like 3 first names. But he generally said he liked our content. However, we
weren't genuine.
Or maybe he didn't want to ride with us. Look, you'd have a great time riding with me, all right? I'm a fun time. But
I can confirm that.
I think that sometimes we do come off a little bit harsh, and I get that, and I don't mean to, and I don't think anybody else here does. This really is a place, I feel like, for everybody.
You know what my favorite like comment is when people are talking about the show is when they say that it feels like I'm just listening to a bunch of friends, or like if the campfire analogy, it feels like a bunch of guys just sitting around a campfire, and that's what I enjoy about like doing the show. It's if you don't think we're being genuine, I don't know what to tell you. Like I was telling you guys the other day, we were talking about how like not too long ago I was like considering almost being done with MCs in general. I was very, my head was in the wrong place. And one of the ways that I got over that shit and moved on to something better was having a conversation on this podcast with, 2 of my really close friends that I've met through this platform. So I don't know. I have never been anything but genuine, other than maybe some of the times I got like kicked off the show and somebody else that looked like me, just in a disguise or something, was like on the show. Like maybe
which happens
those
more than people. I think that happens more than people know.
Yeah, but if it's me talking, I've never been disingenuous once.
Also, I want to just point out his name actually is Jimmy Joe Bob. I think I said that.
Is it really?
Yeah, or that's his IG handle. I don't know if that's his actual name, but that's his IG handle. In no way am I like making fun of your remarks. I want you to know that I appreciate you saying that you like our stuff, and I certainly understand where sometimes the misconception of wanting to ride with somebody or how genuine is it or whatever. I can see how that comes across, and I feel like we're I'll say it. I think sometimes we're politicians, but I think that one guy tried to say in the comments that one time we tried to talk about things, but we tried to, I think, come from every angle. So maybe sometimes it seems like we're not confronting something head on, right? We're trying to be respectful and see all sides of a problem. I think, some of those sites that these guys, like, especially Dirty at Biker's Lifestyle, he just comes in like a fucking freight train, right? So, and I think some people appreciate that, and that's probably why they like that content more than some of our stuff, where we try to be a little bit. We're thinkers, I think.
And we're also like a group of people who have different opinions. So,
sure.
A lot of the times we're discovering what the collective, idea is going to be on the topic as we're discussing it.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times it's, I have my own opinion on something, I hear something different from Dave, and then now all of a sudden my opinion is different. So it might seem a little like we're dancing around a topic, but we're legitimately like discovering different ways to think about things, live and in front of you.
And I think too, I don't know that I don't think there is another platform that has as many club relationships to think about when they're talking about something, and I mean that in a respectful manner. Like, you want to be respectful to either the nation that you're a part of, or the relationships that nation has, and a lot of these other ones, maybe they're only representing themselves, or they're only representing one club. That's fine too, I think, but that's something that if you didn't know, now that is something we definitely consider when we're making topics and talking about stuff. Is there's a lot more than just us represented here. Ken's on the fucking phone right now. NoShame's knitting or some shit. I don't know.
Ken's been trying to talk for the last 10 minutes, so I was just sitting back here. I was going to give him a chance. I didn't want to interrupt, and then now he's like over here dicking around.
It's going to be some bullshit like, oh, Chiefs call. Chiefs call.
No, I was 100% just yelling at my kid. That's all it was.
On the phone?
Yeah, I don't want to get up. I'm fucking lazy.
Wait a minute.
You just... your kid's not even there. How do you? What are you mad about?
You live in a ranch house. There's no room that he can go into that he can't hear you.
Okay, look. The honest reason is yes, I was yelling at my son for screaming while we were recording a podcast. I didn't want to get up from the computer just in case NoShame wanted to come out and tell me how his fucking nephew's cousin's sister's aunt Goldfish's next of kin's fucking best friend died. Okay, and now I'm the fucking asshole for walking away again because I missed both times that his dad died.
Was NoShame on the podcast today yet when we started talking about how he got you with that Sons of Anarchy thing?
No.
Oh. Yeah, I said that was probably one of my favorite podcast moments is when NoShame told this story, and it was just a Sons of Anarchy reference, and Ken thought it was legitimate.
He had me going, man. He had me going.
It was all off the cuff.
The first story that I like heard was the one about John Connor, and then like I think maybe 15 seconds into that, I was like, "That's a movie," and they kept going. I was like, "That's definitely Terminator." Okay, but then when I saw the footage afterwards, I was like,
"It was Terminator 1 and 2."
Yeah,
it was 2 movies. Don't downplay it.
I thought the Sons of Anarchy reference came first, though.
It did, but Ken didn't hear it because he walked out on my dad dying.
Twice. But so anyways, I know we were waiting on me to respond, but I was yelling at my child.
I would just like to point out to the listeners that are still here, he lives in a ranch house. There's no room within that house that his kid would not have heard him. He didn't need to fucking call him.
He was yelling at his kid because he could hear his kid, so obviously his kid could hear him.
Yes, and then why would I be a hypocrite about yelling while I'm recording by yelling while
your kid's not recording a podcast? It's not hypocritical.
Yeah, did you not get the memo? Biker podcasts are hypocritical. I don't know. We didn't fucking...
And racist.
We didn't.
Hold on. Are we sharing too much family business?
Oh shit! Sorry. No, just shut the fucking podcast down. We've said too much.
NoShame has his kid in the background, so I don't know.
I didn't even know he was back there until like I saw his little feet kicking around in the fucking on the computer screen.
Andy's playing with his cat. We see you. No, you.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I'm not playing with a cat.
I thought, what were you fucking?
He was like knitting.
Did you have like a cat toy that you were like twirling around?
What the fuck?
No, this is my casino membership card on a
Oh,
lanyard. So if I walk away from the machine, it pulls out and smacks me in the ass.
Do
Oh.
you have a VIP membership to a casino?
Yeah, I like casinos.
Couldn't tell.
what? Just because he's a fucking biker doesn't mean that he can't enjoy nice things.
Are bikers allowed? Are
That,
bikers allowed in casinos?
You know, it depends on where you are. Some people ruined it for us. Not to name any names. I don't want to put any club business out there.
Yeah, 21 years ago. I don't want to put no History Channel shit out there.
Jesus Christ!
We'll put the link in the captions, guys.
Yeah, every click is 15 cents, so make sure you open it.
That's everybody's first time hearing about that, right? Yeah, I just spoiled that.
Did you guys see that somebody one of the motorcycle podcasts did an interview with Jay Dobbins?
No.
Yeah,
I was like, are you trying to?
No, wait, they did. No, he didn't do an interview because that guy never does interviews. He just talked about an interview that somebody else did with Jay Dobbins.
Are you serious? I didn't watch it.
No, because he fucking said some shit about interviewing somebody from my club. So I went and watched the fucking video, and he's literally just talking about an interview that I think Big Cell did with a guy from my club like years ago. And he's like, yeah, he talked about the thing and the thing and the thing. And yeah, he goes on to do this. And it's like why? I don't need your summary of what somebody else did. Like, put out original content, you jackass.
Ken's over here trying to turn over a new leaf. Oh, man. But seriously, I didn't see.
Hard. It's like trying to quit smoking and then hanging out with only smokers.
So did he just like reiterate what had already been like put out in Jay Dobbins' book, or did he like just?
It's like I would compare it to Cliff Notes written by somebody with an IQ of 4.
Jesus Christ!
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about now.
Sorry, Ken.
So
was he like pro Jay Dobbins or anti Jay Dobbins?
It's similar to another news site out there that says that they'll report on an incident that happens, but then it's literally just them reading off of somebody else that wrote a story about it.
I thought we were turning over a new leaf.
Is it talking shit if it's true? You're right. I'm sorry.
It's not defamation of character if it's true. I looked that up on Google yesterday.
It's not defamation of character, but does it make me a dickhead?
All right, but anyway, for those that are going to go check out, this Jay Dobbins thing, was he pro Jay Dobbins or anti Jay Dobbins?
I didn't watch the whole thing. Like, that's his. So okay, yeah. To be fair, he might have interviewed Jay Dobbins, but I am 99% sure that he did not, because his whole platform is not that. It is pretending that you interviewed somebody.
Hey, we're not quite at an hour yet. We got time to look it up.
I'm looking it up right now.
Okay. Because I think we did an episode on not Jay, but like overall like informants and snitches and like how they make money, like, and they end up with like almost little to no evidentiary busts and things like that, but they make like all this fucking governmental money, and we did one like that, so it's definitely anti Jay.
I can never remember what this fucking page is called, because now all I think about is
you're trying to trick us into saying it. I'm not doing that.
All I think about is bread that's been heated up inside of a device that gets it crispy and brown on the outsides.
Stop it.
Fuck, what's the name of that fucking thing?
I'm
Ken, sign language it to me.
There you go. Put it in the chat.
Where'd you put it?
Put it in the chat.
In the private chat?
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, yeah.
See, I'm trying to be better, guys. I'm trying to be better. I'm not promising this is gonna last forever. Okay, but I'm trying to be better. So while so you got anything coming up special for you?
Video talking about Jay Dobbins, they hit me with that pound stare again, leading people to believe they are true.
Nope, Jay Dobbins is not
this is someone
on this video
and the demons routine.
anywhere. Nope, yeah, Jay Dobbins was not there.
I fucking hate you so much right now.
What happened?
I just have so many things to say. Just so many things, and I'm trying to be nice, and you guys are making this very difficult for me.
Is it
Can you bring
hold
me
on.
a beer?
Did you hear that?
Doesn't that work the other way around? You didn't give him a beer.
No, she just
Oh,
asked my
fuck.
kid. She goes, "Son, can you grab me a beer?" People are gonna think I'm J. Bob Dylan Shaw or whatever that guy's name was.
Jesus. J. Bob Dylan Shaw.
Where the fuck Dave go?
He said that it's something about selling a dime bag to his employer or something like that. Yeah. But no, man. I mean, there's definitely. I think we covered a decent amount of shit today, but there's definitely a difference in, putting club business out there, and then talking about club stuff.
Absolutely.
I mean, if we're talking about history and protocol, could you call that club business? Are we putting club business out there? I don't fucking think so.
Well, it's like, if boil it down to, it's not on social media, right? You're not supposed to talk club business to anybody outside of your club, right? You're not even supposed to really talk club business to a prospect unless it's like pertinent information that on a need to know basis.
Yeah.
You're definitely not supposed to be talking about club business to like hangarounds. But how the fuck do they learn anything? If talking about protocol is club business, then they wouldn't learn anything, right? So obviously there's things that are discussed that are not club business.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody can see my club. It's club business. I can't ride down the highway with my fucking cut on anymore.
Hey,
I got to
hang
put
around.
a little
Turn the
permanently
fuck around.
fucking censored bar over my shit so nobody fucking knows who I am or where I fucking. That's stupid.
Yeah,
It's just ridiculous.
it is.
The whole thing. And by the way, Dave, Jay Dobbins was not on that episode.
It's disappointing.
Yeah.
Well, you were right. At least you know you were right.
I do.
Shocker, right? NoShame's correct about something. But yeah, there's
Even a
definitely
blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then.
Hey, see, my favorite is even the sun shines on a dog's ass. But yeah,
you're
man.
right. You're 100% right.
Who
Yeah,
is?
there's definitely we all are. The person on the screen right now. But we, there's definitely a difference between talking about club stuff and trying to educate people and putting out club business. And the last thing I will say on it is that, the invitation has been extended and it's up to that individual if they would like to accept the invitation. And I would say it was done with the utmost politeness. But
I don't think so.
I thought that was pretty polite. I thought. Anyways, but because I'm a fuck up, I don't say it. But no, it sucks that kind of shit's out there. But that it's also seeing that kind of shit that's out there makes me even more proud of the work that we're doing at Four for the Road as a collective. Because yeah, sometimes we get wrapped up in the shit talking negativity, but at the end of the day, I think we all fulfill the mission rather eloquently. We spread education on tradition, history, and protocol.
And don't even call it, if somebody wants to nitpick, like don't even call it education. Fine. It's promoting the culture. And if you're proud of something or you are passionate about something, why not fucking promote it? Like, I don't like, what is the point of having something that's great or has great parts if you're not excited to tell other people about it or to have them share or to find like-minded people? What the fuck's the point then?
I was trying to think of something like negative and clickbaity to say to like, kind of just be funny and ironic, but I couldn't. Like, I just don't know how people look at, and you said it perfectly. If you actually love something, then how are you not going to promote it? And I think it is very telling. It kind of just came to me that like a majority of these people that are putting out this like trash content are people who are no longer involved in the life. They probably had a negative experience with it, and they put out like the worst parts of it just to try and earn a buck. And it's like if you actually cared about the culture and you cared about the community, you would try to represent it in the most positive light possible. And like I just sat here trying to think of like how do I negatively spin something, and I can't because it's something that I love. And I think a lot of times even if we do talk about something that might be negative, we try to dissect it down to like, okay, here's how the justification for that works, and here's why you might see it in a negative light, or why the community might view it, or the general public might view it weird. But here's why we do it, I don't know. I just it's frustrating that there are people out there that have an audience that are putting out such garbage. And you know what is embarrassing for Dave specifically is that before I was even a part of this staff when we were on Sucka Free, and before we had our podcast, I wrote into Sucka Free and asked for a recommendation for podcasts to listen to. And Dave gave me a terrible recommendation.
Well, in his defense, was it horrible at the time? Or
it was,
horrible at the time?
There was everybody. I don't think I'm not breaking any fucking news right now. There was everybody knows about the Waco incident. It was like around the time that all that Waco stuff was happening, and that was literally the entirety of the content on that show. It was like, oh, this person's going to snitch on this person. Let's hear what this person has to say about Dingle Dangles. And oh my God, it was just also sensationalized. It was pretty annoying.
You were looking for like a negative spin or whatever. You are not as a YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, podcast, whatever platform. If you interview a club president about any events that have to do with anything dramatic related to their exit from a club, you're not fucking allowed to scold people on club business, all right? You lose all that integrity, and so you can just straight on miss me with that video you want to make in your fucking truck or whatever. If you bring on an ex-club president of any club, good, bad, indifferent, you fucking don't talk to me ever about club business.
Checkmate.
If you've watched more episodes of Sons of Anarchy than you've been to club biker parties, then shut the fuck up.
If you were a legend, I'm sorry, if you were not a legend, if you knew and were a legend in the community and were such a part of that fabric for however long you claim, and then don't go to that funeral, also miss me with whatever fucking advice you have.
If you are larger around than you are tall, and you make videos in your truck,
you better calm down.
then you better miss me.
All right, it's COVID. Shut the fuck up.
Look, no, I added a qualifier. You can be larger around than you are tall as long as you don't make videos in your truck.
Yeah.
Then shut the fuck up. Ken, it's your turn.
You guys took all the good ones.
If you have hand tattoos but can't make chief, shut the fuck up. I'm sorry, that was press. I'm sorry, Ken.
Hey.
Hey, aren't you allowed to wear those like really thick pirate earrings if you like sail below the equator or something?
What?
In the Navy, like if you do something gay on a ship, they give you these big ass circle earrings to put in your ears.
I'm not in the Navy.
Okay, I was in the Navy.
I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying that it happens.
And I was on a ship, and I've never seen gauge ears before.
It's not gauged. They're just like they're real gay pirate earrings. I had this instructor when I was like going through my apprenticeship for sheet metal, and he was like in the Navy, and he was really proud of like going back and forth across the equator a few times, and he had these really gay pirate earrings to like show for it.
I think he's fucking with you because all you do is you get a certificate.
So you're not allowed to.
Well, hang on, that's not true though. You have, Jesus, it's been so long. You dress up and you have the cord and the.
Yeah. You become a shellback.
Do you put on stupid ass earrings for that when you dress up?
I mean, they might.
Okay, so maybe he brought his costume out for no shit.
Get fucking earrings and be like, "You're not gay anymore." Like,
you know what it is. He took one look at NoShame and was like, "You're definitely in the Filipino mafia."
Right?
It's right here. Fucking earrings were given to young sailors to commemorate their first crossing of the equator.
When? In the Revolutionary War?
I'm not a fucking sailor, bro. Like, I've been
when did that go out of style?
Life, and it was the fucking museum.
I don't know when it went out of style. Fucking probably after Johnny Depp portrayed the fucking pirate guy in that movie.
Hey, you put some respect on Captain Jack Sparrow.
Is somebody getting a phone call?
You based your whole brand off of him.
Is somebody getting a phone call?
No.
Fucking damn.
Somebody's getting a text message or a phone call right now because like the 90s speaker fuzz is going on.
Is it you? I don't hear anything.
It might be. Let me check.
Maybe it was one.
Yeah, sorry about that. It was an Instagram message.
Maybe
How
it
bad.
was
How are you going to accuse us of some shit that's coming through your phone?
I thought the phone would light up when I got a message, but it didn't.
because it knows that you're recording. So it's trying to be respectful.
So are you going to name this episode Club Business?
I'm going to name this episode Airing Club Business.
You should name it Interview with Jay Dobbins.
You shouldn't name it Airing Club Business because the person that we're talking about couldn't get air if they got launched off of a trampoline. It's a fat joke.
You know, Ken came in all positive. He had a really great, before NoShame got here and ruined it, Ken had like a really great monologue about being positive, bringing positivity in.
What excuse did you make for us losing our episodes so I know what story to tell everybody?
I just danced around it. I mean, I probably made the elephant bigger.
We just told them the truth that there was some technical difficulties with Spotify and YouTube because we use the program that we use.
There you go.
To upload at the same time to save time. There was an issue with the program.
We got Neil Young.
And then we got Neil Young.
Those motherfuckers.
Dude, we got Neil Young.
That is 100% what happened, we promise.
At least we didn't get Janis Joplin yet.
Oof.
You know what, though? I will say, and you know, I know that I was, and we can edit this if need be. I know I was in the group chat, like, you know, no big call outs or, you know, no fucking drama. We're better than that. We're past that or no, you know, all that shit. And then, you know, like you just, to tell the story, it's like you almost get like you have to, or you get sucked back into it and stuff like that. But Ken has done an amazing job of trying to avoid that. So good for you.
I'm not over anything.
I'm not over it, but I was just.
I'm not bigger. I'm not bigger than them.
I'm coming for you, Neil Young.
I don't have the high ground.
In any shape or form. Like,
it's a fat joke again.
I feel like.
But I figured that's like why he talks the way he talks, man. Like
Neil Young.
His body is so labored that he
Neil Young
himself.
Neil Young's not that fat.
Oh no. You know what I'm talking about.
Neil Young.
Yeah, sure. Code word. So.
But yeah, it's kind of the elephant in the room on why the episodes are gone, and it was a little bit of some technical difficulties and some.
How many episodes do we have now?
40. Well, Ken has 2 to post, or will.
This will be 40.
No, this will be 42.
41.
So we're gonna have to fucking celebrate our 50th episode again.
We should bring on Jace again. Wasn't he our 50th guest?
No, our 50th episode we just did. We did a 2-parter.
Oh yeah.
And we cycled everybody through.
Yeah, we'll have to do that again.
Yeah.
I was like working on a big surprise for our 100th episode too, and now I can't fucking do it.
Yeah.
I just think if you have a platform, use it for whatever you want. There's enough internet for everybody. For the Road wants to use it to be inclusive, as long as you're not a fucking. My kid calls it Jackhole instead of Jackass the movie. He wants to watch Jackhole the movie. You know, so don't be a jackal, and you can come to For the Road, and you can, if you're cool, be on the podcast, give us podcast ideas, give us articles to post. We want to chill with you. We really do. Just don't.
I wish we would get more of that. That's one thing I do wish we had more
agree.
of was the community. You know who did a good job of that with their platform was Two Guns when he did the MC 101 and set it up as a Facebook group instead of doing a Facebook page. And I think that was a good idea because it brought a lot of community interaction. But like, yeah, I wish we would get more people that would write into us or want to contribute to the podcast or whatnot. So if you're listening, fucking don't be shy.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we get a few. You know, sometimes we get busy or don't see them or whatever. It's not intentional. If you think that you have a great topic to bring on the podcast too, I mean, Ken will talk to you. Just kidding.
Dude, I will. And you know what? Like he's getting fuck was that? But he was being for real about that, you know. I had a lot of time on the fucking hands yesterday, man, and I just started going through like old messages that either weren't responded to or like I personally didn't see, and dudes asking for articles like, "Hey, I don't know how to word this," or "Hey, like, how would you guys handle this situation?" Okay, cool. And I used that as inspiration. I pumped out fucking 8 articles yesterday and scheduled them for the next 8 days because of the inspirational requests that we got from the inbox.
Well, look at that. We're at an hour, so
dude, when are you gonna get Logan on the podcast?
You know what? We've been dealing with some traumatic stuff right now. Okay, so
we have been dealing with traumatic stuff. Fucking goddamn Neil Young.
But I will say, as a closing remark, if you take up space on this great internet and are using a platform, don't fucking cry like a bitch about other platforms to other people. Cry, yell at that platform. Argue with that platform. Don't fucking go to somebody else. It's fucking lame.
Yeah, we don't hide who the fuck we are or where we're at either.
Yeah, my name's Mike. Up in the corner is NoShame, and up in the left corner is Punk Rock. Yeah, no, we don't.
Yeah.
with your fucking aliases. But everybody knows you're Ken. Like, okay, you have a cool nickname or whatever.
Yeah.
A road name. People know that you're fucking Ken. I think most people know that NoShame his name is Derek.
God damn it. Quit putting out my fucking club business.
Is it also?
That's another. So is it club business if you tell people your club name?
Yes. You need to introduce yourself as mystery person. If you want to know your prospect.
You will only learn the true my true form once you patch in.
My first name's Patch. My last name's Holder. No shame's just so you don't get it confused.
You see that guy over there? He's been my president for 5 years. No idea what his name is. That's how hardcore we are.
I didn't choose this gang life. Gang chose me. So
hey, you see that guy over there? I don't even know if he has a motorcycle. Never seen it. Not my business. That's club business.
Oh, there's a couple radio show hosts like that. So hey, we are about an hour here, and I think we have covered some miles. We have we tried to stay positive, but then we ended up taking some very subtle shots